It's really great to be here today at the MICE track. MPI is the second year participate to the MICE hub at ETB Berlin. I will present you today our meeting outlook. It's our quarterly report that give you the trend and data over the different panels. Quarterly, every 3 months, and we have a panel between planners and suppliers who answer same questions, so we can really have key data over it. Just before I have the presentation on the screen, how many of you are for planner side agencies? Anyone from the venue side, Convention Bureau, Convention Center, just to know the audience. I will introduce MPI. Meantime, I have the slide on the screen. So MPI, it's an association of 13,000 members. It's the largest association of meeting professionals. Our membership is personal because we really help our members to grow in their career, in their business, and in the knowledge. But know that everything that MPI does and offer is open for everyone in the meeting industry. That's why we do this kind of presentation, open to definitely the public. You think I have it's not going the presentation, eh? And so this is a quarterly. It just came out last week. All the data we present, so really fresh, and it's the first time we present during a trade show. We ask similar and same question on business, attendance to event, and can I have the slide, please? Because I can go on and on talking about MPI, but what interests the public, I think, it's really the meeting outlook report that we have. Okay, perfect. Let me go back. Let me go back. Perfect, so we start from here. So thanks, and sorry if we had that. So this is a quarterly report, every 3 months, the same question on the business condition, and it's really a result of survey from our planners and suppliers, as I said. Just know that most of the planners are US-based, so some may resonate in your country, 10% are European, the rest of the world, mainly Latin America, so not a lot in the Asian part. But as I say, some key trends may be similar, other that's a part of the discussion when you can download the slide from our website, or as Frank said, from ETB, you can then discuss it locally if you find. So first of all, the good news is our panel see that in the next 12 months, there is a positive condition of business. That means that 71% say the business will continue to increase. I think also we saw it here at ETB, the numbers are greater. You saw also in all their report, the business, especially in the MICE sector, so meeting, incentive, and convention and event, continue to increase. If you see, the data is now stable, because as I said, we ask the same question quarterly. Since now a year, we are above 70%. So now we can really say that the market is there, meeting and incentive event continue to increase and are a driver for destination economically. Important is that 42%, so half of these 71%, say there is 6% better. So definitely positive if as you all work into this field. The market condition, the market is the sellers, so people, the supplier that host the event, and of course the planners who plan event, corporate planner and association. It continued to be through the year a seller market. But if you see compared to last year, is more balanced. What does it mean? That the venues, of course, due to high occupancy, especially in certain cities, on the high demand, they mostly control prices. So the comment for our planners is that sometime in contract negotiation, they feel a little bit more difficulties, and this can be leveraged through collaboration, network, and other things that association. So it's a more balanced compared to a year ago, but it's continue to be on the seller side. So business conditions are favorable. The employment condition, again, it's a positive trend because we see that the full-time continue to increase, 39%, especially after the pandemic. You know, there was a lot of turmoil and changes. A lot of workforce came, new workforce that need training. I think you heard it before. That's why maybe I see there is another higher component is the contracting part, so the outsource. Maybe when you design an event, you take a senior creative designer, event designer, that help you to fulfill in those skills that maybe your new workforce do not have. So maybe also specialists in IT technology, especially in the event design, or maybe also to fulfill cost because you can have ad hoc contractor for the event. But again, positive because full-time and contractor, if you are in this kind of entrepreneur, continue to increase. Now we have asked about the attendance. The attendance is in person, like today, or virtual. We see the in-person attendance continue to grow, and even asking to company, you know that events are parting of marketing strategy, large corporate definitely now, and we see it here again at ITB, you prefer to have one-to-one appointment with key suppliers, key buyers, to develop synergies. The digital component, it's a bit down, but also a trend that will continue to be there. If we go in deeper, same thing, you see over the year, we are above 70% in attendance and even increasing in this last quarter. As I said, this data are really from end February, so it's really the first time we present those live at the trade show. The digital, we talk a lot about Zoom fatigue and other kind of word we have here lately. It goes a bit down, but as I said, it will continue because maybe if you need one-to-one moment with in-person in certain event, in order where it's a more classical teaching way, you can do it now to technology on the digital part. So I think that 3/4 are in person, and 1/4 is digital. These were about the data and percentages. I go now more in topic that I think it's more interesting for you. So definitely technology, and we relate to technology, AI, artificial intelligence. So we really ask our planners, what's your sentiment? So how do you feel about AI in your sector? Here you can see it from 14% in November. We are doubling it, so the positive sentiment of using AI that can help you in your work. And even if you do the total positive and somewhat positive, you are much above the 50%. But we went further down asking how often do you use, not just the sentiment, how you feel, do you really use it? As you can see here, the often part is doubling from a year and a half ago. Of course, this help you in your work. Using AI, I think you have here in the technical part, you can support definitive translation, registration, engagement to participant, making much more interactive and tailor-made thanks to these tools. I will not go deeper in the tools. You can see them in some of the report of MPI. But again, here, excellent and good. I think it's 40% use now AI in the meeting and the events. And it's something that help you and maybe help you also with covering some cost, as I said, in marketing, registration, and other kind of services. We go now toward the budget conditions. So we saw favorable business, favorable employment between the difference in person and digital. The budget, I think Frank said it before, definitely there is a cost concern that we'll see after. We all know the inflation and all this leverage, the cost. Budget continue to increase. but especially if you are in the planning side, you know that your budget needs to cover the cost, and technically you live on the margin, so you need to be more creative. Here, unfortunately, it's not so positive because the budget continued to increase 66%, but is down 5% from 6 months ago. So I think the cost increase make this difference. Positive is that 32, so half of the 66, say it increased more than 5%. Now we go in deeper into the cost. The cost really increased all over the segment on planning the event, because costs have increased in F&B, definitely because the material cost more in audiovisual. So all the component of the meeting, in space, meeting room like this, hotels, especially, that's a comment from our planners, staff, because you need staff to have the event, and transportation to get the person there. So as you can see here, 1 to 10%, so let's make it about 8-10%, is the most common increase over the last 12 months. And if we see next 12 months, it continues to be. So really, agencies have to be creative how to manage those costs in a creative way, using maybe AI and other tools, because as you can see here, the past 12 months, especially the hotel and the F&B is where we have the majority, but there is the prediction that it will continue over the year. So even though it's favorable, how you will manage that part, and maybe in collaboration with the venues. What really keeps our meeting planner wake up at night, it's uncertainty. I think we all experience in different way. So which are the top uncertainty? Definitely the cost. So how the budget and cost, how we can match it, 47% say this is really the biggest concern for them. Bon, I think we also news in the last months and whatever, politics and legislation is now affecting the meeting and event, because maybe you go to certain countries or no, or maybe the legislation make that the cost is much higher to go in certain country to other, and definitely the politics is in a turmoil now. I think a good thing, because that's, if we saw, that's my personal comment, is sustainability is down. That means that sustainability is now a component of the event. It's not a concern, how should I make sustainability integrated in my event? I think that going down, it means that sustainability now, it's really a component and it's a value for event. You can see the order, and as I said, you can download this report either from our website or the ATB tool. These were the newest trend from last month, as I said, in February. I go back now with some key trend over the last semester, because I think it's important, and then, of course, if there is any question, or you can discuss it locally. So we go back, the financial pain point. So what really impact you and how you can manage to leverage those. So the inflation definitely is something you cannot do anything, but is way how to leverage that. Maybe the venue cost, how you collaborate with the venue to manage your cost down. Your competition, prices down from a competitor, from merger, from bigger companies that can manage the cost down, from networks and other. Those are financial pain points have been pointed out from our panelists. Staff cost, so maybe what I said before, the contracting, the outsourcing, maybe this can help you to lower the staff cost, but you need anyhow staff for your event. The F&B, how you can manage creative ways. Maybe we'll see it after also in menus and other things, how you can manage your break and whatever to leverage the F&B and the AV, that are two components that you need them to have an event. And lastly, that come out, something new, this political instability that maybe we were not used in certain part of the world, but now I think that's everywhere. It's really some instability we see in different countries. If we go again, maybe on the positive way, is the wellness and health, especially after the pandemic. We don't talk about the pandemic as you see in this slide, but you need to focus also on your attendees. So the attendees, you don't need to have really compact event full of, you need some moment where they can distress, re-energize, have also the time to talk, because that's what they ask. So when you design your event, you need to add on some wellness, well-being moment, that it doesn't mean a stretch in the morning. I just point out the most common is the use of healthy food, so how you can be re-energized, how you value your menu using food that is really health and give a possibility to participant to really participate to the event. Then, in this, as you can see, it match from the planners, that are our panelists, and the attendees. We ask also in this case some attendees. Then it come, of course, the indoor air quality, the natural light, the space to prevent crowding. So how you design your room, you will have some rooms where definitely you need a more compact audience, but other you can use a mix of chairs and sofas and couches. The light is very important. This because people need to feel well during the event, so when they come back, they have a positive feeling and about this. Then, of course, the content is very important, but you need to think all that when you design your event. I will just point it out. Also the non-alcoholic beverage, you know, more and more there is also this trend, of course, to use definitely less alcohol in some moment of the event itself. Safety and risk, again, what keep our planners awake at night? What are the safety and risk you need to, and the concern you have? If you go compared to a year ago, there is 51% say there is more risk now compared to 1 year ago. Maybe in end 2023 was after the pandemic, everything was coming back, there was less concern on this risk. That we'll see after what are the risks, because the risk is not just the politics, but can be weather and other. If you really compare to 19, it's significantly more. So in 19, the risk in the event were much, not less, but less perceived as something you need to prepare in advance to be ready. So you need a plan B, you need a contingency plan, you need to work with your destination, what if things happen, what you will do. And this is something the destination definitely can help. So the top 4 are natural disaster, weather, we saw fires and other flooding, other things like this. Then technology, so everything was the cybersecurity, data breach, because being a conference organizer, you manage data of your attendees, not just the day they were born or whatever, but in registration you have also detail of document or whatever. So this is, again, an important component, and maybe, as I said before, you need specialists and tech to manage all that. So the technology, IT outage, data breach, hacker, and the social, of course, unrest that may be related again to anything that's politics. All the other, as I said, you can read and you can have them with the slide. So this was everything more on the meeting and event side. We ask a few questions on the business travel. Some of our network, you know, they do business travel, meeting and event. So we have asked them again, what are the trend, especially compare to before the pandemic. So the number of trips, it's definitely higher. Then there is adding leisure time. I think the experience of the destination is important. You plan a trip, you come to a convention, but maybe you need, also I see in our congresses, we give half a day. It's not just a tour, but it's how to experience something, and it can be giving back a sustainable moment to the locals, or know something about the city that can be interesting for your content and for your event. And then, of course, the desire of travel. So you see the highest is adding leisure time. That can be, for me, experience. Number of trips are definitely higher this year compared even to 1919, and the desire of travel. And if we go back, and we are almost at the end of the presentation, what really make you to decide when you go to the destination, taking in mind what we said about the business, about the risk, about the cost. So 28% say we will choose a property in a new destination. So being new, maybe you can manage better prices. So this is 28% say they would go to a new property in a new destination. 23% say they go in a new property in a completely new destination. So, as I said, after the pandemic, a lot of hotels have reopened. There is again a development in certain areas. So this may help you to leverage the cost and have something also new for your client and to maintain the client. 19% say a property, a destination that we use. So this is more the collaborative part. As I said, is a seller market, but if you go in a venue that you use every year or every 2 years, maybe you can manage standard contract, and this will help you to manage those higher costs in a certain component, as we saw before. 71% say a property destination we have been, but not before 19, so that's similar. It's not new, but it's something that it came down. 8% say a property buyout, so when you do the full rental of the space, definitely you have a fixed cost, it doesn't change, so that's something that help you on the budget. And list is property that are all-inclusive. Even we have experience in MPI 2 years ago in our largest convention, going to Mexico, we have used a property with the all-inclusive for a congress. Technically, this lower also because you don't have, you have the cost of the F&B, but that's being already included. Definitely, you need to manage certain aspects because of the timing, the hours, but that's something new. It came out from our planners on their decision making the event. So these were really the key trend. If I can just report out, we saw artificial intelligence. Yes, it's used, not just the feeling, but it's used, and you can see more and more, and it can help you as a planner, also as a supplier, because you have the data. The well-being, so how your attendees feel well during the event and come back with a positive mind, and cybersecurity. These are the three trends, I would say, personally. And sustainability is now a component of the event itself.
Federico, thank you for these valuable insights, which are absolutely newly published here via you. And is there any question from the audience? If not, I have a question, but of course the audience is first. So if not, my question is there already anticipated in regard of this, let's say, poly crisis we are facing already in the direction of that we may face some kind of trade war between Europe and the US? Is there any indication already in your questionnaires, or how would you find out if there's something where the people have high concerns in bringing people from Europe to the US and other way around? Is there already some data available, or What is your assumption?
But thanks for the question. As I said, we ask this question every 3 months. So this came out was from January, and this politics is the first time it counts. So I'm sure that more and more. Normally we ask the business condition, the event attendance, and the employment, and then we go in deeper when we see there is some key questions. So this time we went in deeper in AI, and I'm sure the politics will come out. Anyhow, as I said, through association, my also recommendation is that you can get the innovation, you can get the literature, you have different associations all over the world. This can help you also to see the mentality from other part, and then of course when you go back, you implement on your cultural side.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? If not, again, very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I know I haven't seen one thing. We have a mice. We are at the mice hub at the hall 10.2. In case anyone would like discuss anything, I am here today and tomorrow morning, and then our MPI German members will be there the other days. Mice hub, MPI desk.
Okay, Frederico, thank you again.
Thank you.
Nice having you here. Thank you so much.